Subscribe to Audio Novels for more content and click on the bell icon. We hope you enjoy the video. Thank you.
Bang! She thought she heard the sound of a violent collision, but it was not as painful as she had anticipated. Her vision suddenly brightened up again after a momentary darkness. The sound of cars and people filled her ears. She's not dead even after falling down 32 floors? That's impossible. Since Yi Wenhan had already admitted everything to her, there was simply no way he would let her live. She rubbed her shaky head. Her eyes darted around to the streets that looked both recognizable and unfamiliar to her at the same time. Was she seeing things? "Are you okay, sis?" A familiar voice sounded in her ears. Song Zhizhi turned with a jerk to see her stepsister, Ni Xiaofei, beside her. Ni Xiaofei was as innocent and lovely as a soft white bunny, and at the moment was looking at Song Zhizhi with a sincere look of concern. "What the hell is going on?" Song Zhizhi stared at Ni Xiaofei in shock. Even the smartest brain would short-circuit in this kind of situation. "I'll go take a look at what's happening, miss." Another voice sounded, startling Song Zhizhi from her daze. Song Zhizhi stared at the chauffeur in the driver's seat, Uncle Zhang, in disbelief. If her memory served her right, Uncle Zhang should have passed away 3 years ago. She followed Uncle Zhang's gaze and saw a woman getting down from another car. Uncle Zhang got into a somewhat agitated argument with her. Evidently, a rear-end collision had taken place. The familiar scene stirred something in Song Zhiji's memory. This seemed to be an incident that had taken place 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Forcing her beating heart to calm down, Song Zhizhi turned back to Ni Xiaofei and asked, "What year is this?" "What?" Ni Xiaofei could not hide her surprise. "What year in the Yanshan calendar is this?" 2013. "Sis, what's wrong? Did you hurt your head in the collision?" Ni Xiaofei appeared extremely concerned. Not a trace of hypocrisy could be detected from the worried look on her face. This was why Song Zhizhi had been deceived by her. "So you're 21 this year, and I'm 22? Song Zhizhi once again sought confirmation. After all, she was having a hard time believing that an event that one would only see in novels was actually happening to her. "That's right." Ni Xiaofei nodded obediently and added with joy, "And tomorrow's my birthday. You just gave me a big birthday gift." "A big gift?" Song Zhizhi bit her lip hard. She was now sure that this was not a dream. She sneered inside. It seemed that the heavens were not blind after all. She had been reborn to 6 years ago. 6 years ago, nothing had happened yet. Her brother was still alive, her father was still alive, and her home had not been taken over by the family of poisonous snakes. Since she got to start over, she would definitely return the favor tenfold. She calmly adjusted her emotions and opened the car door. "Miss?" Seeing her climb down, Uncle Zhang was quick to respectfully greet her. Song Zhizhi nodded and turned to the other woman. The woman looked back at her and said bluntly, "It's my fault for tailgating. You can either call the police or send your car to the garage for repairs, then send the bill to me." "Xin Zhao Zhao," Song Zhizhi called out her name. The woman frowned and responded, "Song Zhizhi." Being a prestigious and famous family in Jin City, the Song family were involved in the political side of the economy. They supported the development of Yanshan country's commerce. On the other hand, the Xin family were involved in the business side of the economy. They were one of the 3 biggest conglomerates in Jin City. Song Zhizhi was the eldest daughter of the Song family, while Xin Zhao Zhao was the eldest daughter of the Xin family. There were not much prior interaction between the two of them, but they both knew who the other was due to their statuses in the city. Song Zhizhi was not that eager to socialize in her past life. She thought having a younger sister, a younger brother, and a man who loved her were enough for her. Ni Xiaofei would even get jealous when she made new friends. Meanwhile, Yi Wenhan was simply unwilling to socialize with the upper class. Thus, Song Zhizhi naturally had very little interaction with people from the upper class too. Thinking about it now made her realize that she had been so blind. They clearly wanted her to end up isolated and helpless, prepping her up for slaughter. "It's just an accident. No one wished for it to happen. We both bear some degree of responsibility," Song Zhizhi smiled. "There's no need to call the police or for any compensation." Xin Zhao Zhao seemed a little surprised. Song Zhizhi would not usually socialize with others like this. However, she chose not to comment on it. She merely nodded and said, "In that case, I'll be going." "Okay." Song Zhizhi nodded back. Xin Zhaozhao turned around and went back to her car. Song Zhizhi followed Xin Zhaozhao's back with her eyes. She was not well acquainted with Xin Zhaozhao, but having lived 6 additional years, she knew that this woman was extraordinary. She was someone Song Zhizhi needed to befriend. Song Zhizhi briefly discussed the vehicle repair problem with Uncle Zhang before they walked back to the car together. The car roared to life again. Song Zhizhi looked out the window at the passing streets, deep in thought. Everything she experienced felt so surreal, yet it was so real. "Sis?" Ni Xiaofei's sweet voice once again came from the side. Song Zhizhi wished she could ignore Ni Xiaofei, but she also knew that this was not the time to expose her yet. She responded with a faint, "Which gown do you think I should wear for my birthday party tomorrow? You have to help me pick a pretty one later. I can't wait." Ni Xiaofei said with anticipation while showing the simplicity of a young girl. Song Zhizhi smirked. If memory served, at the current moment in time, she was on her way to help Ni Xiaofei pick a birthday gown. This was right after she had gone to the Ji family alone to call off her engagement. The big gift Ni Xiaofei mentioned earlier was Song Zhizhi's decision to reject Ji Baijian, the eldest young master of the Jihong group, the biggest of the 3 major conglomerates, in order to let Ni Xiaofei have him instead. The truth was, the engagement between her and Ji Baijian were decided shortly after her birth. They did not have much contact growing up. Ji Baijian had been studying abroad ever since he was a kid, so they had rarely met, and there was naturally no love between them. But Ni Xiaofei told Song Zhizhi that she had fallen in love with Ji Baijian at first sight, so much so that she was determined to marry him despite the rumors of his impotence that had spread all over the city. "What's wrong with you, sis? You seem rather absent-minded today." After not getting a response from Song Zhizhi, Ni Xiaofei called out to her somewhat unhappily. Song Zhizhi pursed her lips. It took every ounce of self-restraint she had to stop herself from giving Ni Xiaofei a backhanded slap. "Maybe I'm still a bit in shock from the accident just now. I'm not feeling very well. I think I'll go home and get some rest. Why don't you go pick the gown by yourself?" "What about your gown, sis? You're not going to try any on?" "I'll be fine," Song Zhizhi laughed. "You're the main character tomorrow. As long as you dress beautifully, it'll be enough." "Even so, I'll definitely pick a nice gown for you," Ni Xiaodai said happily. Song Zhizhi nodded. In terms of acting skills, she really was no match for Ni Xiaofei. "So are you getting down here, sis?" asked Ni Xiaofei. Song Zhizhi did not answer. Instead, she spoke to the driver. "Uncle Zhang, please stop the car." The car stopped at the roadside. Song Zhizhi said, "You can get off here, Xiaofei. You should be able to easily catch a taxi here." Ni Xiaofei stared at her in disbelief. Song Zhizhi added, "The car has some scratches. We need to send it to the garage for inspection." Ni Xiaofei bit her lip. She was upset, but she had no way to vent it. Song Zhizhi's face was indifferent. It took a while for Ni Xiaofei to open the door and get out of the car. She left straight away without saying goodbye to Song Zhizhi in her usual sweet manner. But Song Zhizhi could not care less. She told Uncle Zhang, "Let's go." Uncle Zhang was very surprised too. Miss Zhizhi usually doted on Miss Xiaofei, but ultimately he did not dare to ask, and simply drove away. Looking at Ni Xiaofei's frustrated figure behind her, the corners of Song Zhiji's lips curled into a sneer. This was just the beginning.